G'day flatties and globe defenders and everyone else. The Flatbuster Mark I was a great success thanks to Antonio Subirats. But there were a few little things that people complained about and a few more observations people wanted to make. So I've built Flatbuster Mark II and let's have a look and see how that performed, shall we? Yes.
Before we start, I'd like to make this note that fair use of sections of this video is encouraged in the spirit of honest debate. I'm sorry, Antonio, I know that that's a little bit too late for you, but I had nothing to do with that. A most unfortunate thing indeed. And so deceptive techniques like quote mining and cherry picking of frames to misrepresent the author are not considered honest. So let's keep it honest, shall we, with the quoting from this video. Now, this video is a remake of a previous observation, and it adequately proved the point of horizon drop on a globe. Some people wanted to nitpick a few things, so this observation/experiment has been repeated with additions and improvements. Now, word about complaints. Suggestions for improving the observation have been and will be incorporated. If you are unhappy about the outcome of the experiment, or don't like the way it was done, or think it was done wrong, or want to blame the weather conditions, get off your backside and do it yourself. And a word about the weather. I have no control over the weather. I had to drive for 2 hours to this location, and it's a bit of hit and miss. And if you want to pay me for lost time at work and petrol money and put me up in a hotel for however long it takes, then I will pick the best day for you. The alternative is do the observation yourself. Now, this was the original setup. As you can see, I have a simple thing, a couple of tripods, spirit level and a tube and some sticky tape. I just grabbed some things I had lying around at home, no special preparation. I put it together at the site, and of course Antonio said that was sloppy work. Well, and I, of course, said, well, it was simple to put together, and it just goes to show how simple it is to debunk the flat earth. Now, this is the Flatbuster Mark II. As you can see now, I actually have a PVC tube. It is painted red, and I have now a digital level attached. So the digital level is accurate to 0.1 degrees. Now the red tube, if you want to check the specs, you can try going to redtube.com, but I'd recommend you do this only at home and under no circumstances should you do this at work. Now there is no sticky tape, and there are anti-cheat sites at the tube ends. You can't see them very well there, but you will get to see them. A couple more things I want to say about this is that I originally intended to mount it the other way up, but when I got to the site, I ended up mounting it upside down. And so the 4-foot level is actually upside down, and unfortunately that means the bubble level on the 4-foot level is not functional. And I'd also like to say that you don't need a tube, you don't need a level. You can do this with just a straight edge. You point one edge at the horizon, and then you walk around and look at the other side and see where it points on the other horizon. Now I will show parts of the original video, and I'll patch new footage into that.
Hello flatties and globe defenders, it's Critical Thing from down under here, and I'm at Byron Bay, Cape Byron, and we'll move around so you can see the lighthouse there in the background, and plenty of people here today, as you can see.
Now let's listen while Antonio tells us how to discern globe from flat.
Then we have a light blue line, which would be the drop to the horizon. Okay, this is a theoretical line, this line. if this was actually true, make sure I'm showing everything. If this was actually true, there would be a way of proving it. If instead this was more like true, there'd be a way of proving that. Okay, obviously this being a horizon line would present a horizon along that line. So how can we test which of these it might be? Well, here I have a red tube, a thin tube.
Do you mean like this? Yes, it's red. Is that important?
Angle a thin tube down to the horizon. Okay, fix it angled down to the horizon.
Do you mean like this?
Look through this end. You should, if your theory is true, see the horizon.
Oh dear, look at that. Not looking good for you, is it, Antonio?
And then leaving this red tube fixed, if you come to this side and look the opposite way, well, can you see how that's veering away from the land, whereas this veers towards the land? Well, when you're looking from this direction, you should be looking up into the sky. Okay?
Do you mean like this? Oh dear. Thanks, Antonio. You've just given me a great idea to prove the globe. I know what you're thinking. You think I faked those pictures, don't you? Well, let's look at the whole clip. Now the tube is pointed to the horizon to the left as before. The display timed out, so I'll have to refresh that. And remember that the level at the longer level, the bubble cannot be used because it's upside down. So we move around to the horizon that we're pointing at. You can see that the top of the level there is pointing at that horizon. And then we look down the tube and we line up our sights. And when we get them lined up, you'll see that's very, very, very close to lining up to the horizon. So it's zoom out. Now see the weather, as I said, the weather is a little bit lousy, but you can still see the horizon, and we'll have more on that. And there's still a very clear line where the horizon is, and we move around and we be careful not to show any horizon through the tube, so we can avoid the rule that if I can see the horizon through the tube, the earth is flat. So we'll try and line up the sights, and when we get the sights lined up, it's pointing at sky. Yes, indeed, it's pointing at sky, which makes the Earth a globe because of that horizon drop. And the parts of the straight lines along that level are all pointing at the sky as well when you look along them. And we move right around. You'll see 0.3 degrees is the expected drop to the horizon at this height. So there you have it. That's that experiment has clearly proved the globe. I've set it up again with the level, so 0 degrees, and you look at that left hand level, you'll see it's in the middle. And we'll try and get the horizon. If the people would just stay out of the way, that'd be a lot better. But there, that's pointing above the horizon in that direction, and it's level. So you can see none of those lines are pointing at the horizon, they're all pointing above. And then, yes, hello people. I am filming here now. I'm going to have to move around the other side. And we look through. It should be also above the horizon on this end. And indeed it is. So line up the sights, it's above the horizon. And all the edges on the level are above the horizon. This one's pointing at the other horizon, so we move around and we'll just verify that it's pointing at that horizon. So I'm lining up the horizon to the right there. I got to see that it looks like there may be some land masses in the long distance, but that's lined up very close to the horizon. It's a little bit blurry, but you can see where the horizon is. And we go around again and look through the other end, and keep your eyes on the horizon. Don't worry about that. And we'll see again it's pointing up into the sky on the other side. So there you have it. It's been done all ways, both ways, and level.
It's very simple. So, Globe Earthers, rather than earn your money through critique, how about you go and you show something? Show it, because we will be showing it. We'll be showing it. Now, if you haven't been able to show the opposite, then it's starting to look even more ludicrous for you.